Turkey, stropping, and lather, rinse, repeat. Today on Barber Dave's special Thanksgiving Day shave on Barber Dave Shaves and Such. Everybody, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. I hope you're spending it with family. I know I wished you Thanksgiving yesterday for our Wednesday video, but today's the turkey day. Today's the day of gluttony and eating turkey and getting ready for the Black Friday sales if you're into that. Anyways, earlier in the week, one of our viewers had asked me to do a stropping video. So if you take the next 3 or 4 minutes and take a look at this stropping video that I made today, as a matter of fact, and when you're done watching that, come on back and we'll do a straight razor shave. How's that sound? See you in a few seconds. Everybody, somebody had asked me about doing a stropping video on both linen, leather, and my convex bench strap. We're going to be honing a CV Helgestrand MK32 today. And somebody had also asked if I do anything as far as pasting my strop or no. No, this is all natural. Okay, this is a Tony Miller strop, and this is a linen, and we're going to do 35. And basically, you want to hold the razor like you would a pencil, and you're going to pivot this back and forth. I'll start out slow, and then I'll go to normal speed for the stropping. So basically, some people strop in an X stroke, and I guess that's kind of what happens with me. It's just by nature, by the body mechanics. But I usually do 30 on linen, 50 on leather, and then another 25 or 30 on the convex strap. So what we're going to do is just be flipping it back and forth. Here we go. And then I'll just speed up to normal speed. And what I'm doing is I'm rotating the razor in my fingers and right on the spine. I never lift up, and I'm holding very taut the strop. Now slow down the last 5. And then when I come off the strap, I always come off this way. So then I'll flip over to the leather. Now I don't treat that, however, usually I'll just do this with the strap, and the angle's kind of weird here. And that's getting some of my oils on the strap itself to help it glide. And then the same thing. Now I'll speed this up so we can get through it. So I'll just do 40 on that one. Okay, then we'll be right back and we'll do it on the convex bench. Here we're going to do the same CV Helgestrand on the convex bench strap. And if you notice, this is concave, so this will give it a nice finish. This is leather. This one I will do X strokes on. So basically, now this one I will lift off the spine, because I want to get the entire edge across that convex edge. And I'll usually do 25 to 30 here, and this is about the pace that I go. I'll cut that short today for the video purposes. So that's my stropping routine every day. I don't strop during the shave at all, just preliminary before the shave. Hope you enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. It is early morning on Thanksgiving Day, and we have a couple of one tradition that we do every year. I get up early,
I'll make some coffee and bake some orange cinnamon rolls. That is the tradition that we've always had. And, you know, like everybody else that's brave enough to say this, when you're opening up the can of the Pillsbury thing, you stand back cringing for that thing to pop. I think most of us guys would rather see a nuclear bomb go off than that Pillsbury thing, because it's freaky. It pops enough to scare the dogs. Okay, so the lather, rinse, repeat part. As you know, yesterday, for those of you who watched, I had a whole bunch of SV70th left over in the bowl. And rather than get rid of it, I still had a pretty big dollop at the end of the day. And so, something I never do, I went ahead and saved it. And we're using that today. Don't have a lot of whiskers to mow down, but we'll still do our 3 passes, and not to mention that this razor, if there's even one whisker that has decided it's going to show its ugly head, this razor will get it. Because, and those of you that have been around a while know, when I say this, that this razor is known as the Queen. This razor gets more respect from me than any other razor I have, which is odd considering I got some pretty wild shaped and wild edged razors. However, this razor right here, which I'll show you at the end of the shave, this razor is responsible for the worst shaving injury that I've ever had, to the point where I had to go to the hospital and get stitches. I've had this razor. This is one of the longest razors I've had. And, you know, you get to about 30 or 40 razor shaves, and I'm sitting right now at somewhere in the 6,000, 6,250, right around in there as far as number of straight razor shaves. Well, you get a little cocky saying, this isn't too bad. And, you know, your lather's not the wettest or the thinnest, and your technique's not the best. And I had purchased a whole bunch of Swedish razors, there's a hint, from Arne, one of our good friends. And this one in particular, although somewhat rare, just had a killer edge on it, and I've maintained that edge. And so I got cocky, and I allowed my hand to pivot, and sliced very deeply. Into my skin, to the point where a butterfly would not even work. So it was definitely sushi grade. So ever since then, I respect this razor more than anything, including its little brothers that I have. It's actually funny that a razor that is so simple in looks, so nondescript, is a killer if it's not used right. And I think that's part of the problem, is that's the complacency that you get into with razors like this. And unlike your Spanish and your your Spanish and your British steels, it's not soft. Therefore, it's not forgiving. So now I also tried another thing today. Those of you that have been watching the channel for a while know that there's a certain brush that I have a love-hate relationship with. And it's the most expensive brush I own. And I had never bowl lathered with it because I wanted to see how it would do. And as expected, it was miserable. And and when I show it to you, you'll know which one I'm talking about. The brush is not the problem. It's the knot. And this knot is made by one of the premier knot makers in the world. However, it sucks. And what I mean by that is it doesn't release the lather, so I don't know if the loft was too low of a loft. It's very dense. It's got wonderful feel to it, but it won't release lather no matter what I do, even when I bowl lathered. So I'm tempted to get rid of the knot. And the knot is a Lee Sabini knot, and he is widely known as being one of the best knot makers on the planet. But I gotta say, it's the second knot that I have of his. I have another knot, another one of his knots in a Paladin back when Ken was doing work with him. And this one's fine. This one that I'll show you is horrible. I mean, it feels good. If you can finally get the lather to the release, it's okay. But a lot of times I have to supplement it with a cream just to get a decent lather. And I've tried almost every way to lather it, from pre-soaking to even dry, and it just does not want to release lather. So either I'm going to have it reset with a higher loft, or I may shit can it and put a synthetic in. And it's too bad because from an aesthetic standpoint, it's one of my favorite brushes. And it was custom made, and I always wanted one of this brand. And it's been somewhat disappointing, to be honest with you. What's amazing is when I felt my face this morning, I didn't think I had very much to shave, but I finished the 3 passes and the queen found, oh yeah, this is like porcelain. Do a little bit of cleanup. So if you are reasonably experienced in straight razors, I would definitely recommend, if you have not taken a dive into Swedish razors, I definitely would, because once the bevel is set to your liking, and once it is honed to your liking. The only thing you will ever, and I'll argue this to the day I ever have to do with this edge, is just maintain it. Really just stropping. This edge was honed originally by Arne, and I've touched it up on an arc and a cauticule, and I've never done anything else to it other than stropping. And it has maintained its edge beautifully. Oh, just a wonderful shave. See what the alum says. Not much, a little bit. But that's usually the MO with this razor. We'll get cleaned up and we'll go over everything. So although I said that the journey of the Italian shaves ended yesterday, we'll mend that today. And that's only because I had that stuff left in the bottom of the bowl. Like I said, this it actually bugs me a lot because I've got some high-end brushes from Paladin and some other, but this was the one that I spent the most money on, and I really, really, really thought that this was going to be the pinnacle of brushes. And sadly, like I said, the brush is great. The knot is good. It's just it does not release. It's gel tipped and everything else. And that's my Morrison Ford Dran with a Sabini knot. And I've thought about it and thought about it. I may end up replacing the knot on this with a synthetic because I just cannot get it to release the lather. It's the only, and I've got some high-end Badgers, high mountain whites. It's the only Badger knot that I can't get lather to release easily. And it's frustrating when I use the brush a lot more. So we'll see. Maybe I'll pluck some hairs out. I don't know. Because it's never shed one hair. I mean, it's a very quality brush. Look at the gel tips on that. But it does not want to release lather. And the only thing I can figure for that is the fact that the loft is set just a little bit too low. So we'll see. Okay, the razor that we used today was the Queen. And I respect this razor. I love this razor. And that's a CV Helgestrand MK32. Just a beaut. But she requires a ton of respect. For the witch hazel today, I was sticking with the Italian Lizia Cubeba from CBL Soaps. One of my partners here at the Shaving Cadre. And since I mentioned that, as always, please come and see us. www.theshavingcadre.com. The finest men's and gentlemanly shaving forum. Self-moderated, free to join. Lots of great guys. In fact, we consider ourselves a family, just like the word cadre implies. Self-moderating and everything else. And then also, don't forget to come see me and my partner on our live show, Drinks and Daves, Monday nights at 5 p.m. Okay, so there's the razor. I'm not going to go over the stuff we used again because it's the same stuff as yesterday. And that is now I guess I should. For the aftershave, of course, again, the 70th anniversary. Now, I had to really twist my arm to force myself to use this again. It's just such a chore to have to use this. Ugh. This stuff is so nice. I mean, if I was a minimalist, God, don't say that word. If I was a minimalist and I could only use one shaving soap and one fragrance for the rest of my life, it would be 70th, bar none. There's just something about it. Same talk as yesterday. Because we're going to be enjoying our Thanksgiving out on the patio today, so because it's nice like that. And then, of course, for the EDP 70th anniversary, just a wonderful, like I said yesterday, and I'll stick to that, and I'm sure people will argue with me. This is everything that Acqua di Parma wants to be, and a lot more, in my opinion. Although I love ADP. I got some right up there that I'll probably use in the next couple of weeks or anything like that. So that's it today, guys. Again, I wish everybody a very safe and happy Thanksgiving. We may do a video tomorrow, we may not, but we'll get back on our normal schedule. But again, from Barber Dave's Shaves and Such to your household, have a very happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care.